Hello everybody, I'm Swati and today I'll be talking about international HRM, about the expatriates. Okay, who are the expatriates and what are the different kinds of recruitment policies, how they are recruited and what are the problems they face. So first let us define expatriate. Who is an expatriate? An expatriate is an individual living in a country other than his own country, okay, often temporary and for work reasons. An expatriate can also be an individual who has relinquished citizenship in their home country to become a citizen of another. It's like, for example, an Indian is leaving his own country and going to US or let's say another country for the purpose of working, doing some job. So he will be called as an expatriate, and in short, in slang language, they are called as expats, right? Now, moving on to what kind of categories are there for expatriates. They are called as expatriate employees and expatriate managers. An expatriate manager could be defined as those who are not the residents of the country where they are working but are employed because of their specialized operational abilities or due to their knowledge of the employing organization. Means these managers are supposed to have some abilities, some talents, a skill set which is really very important for the organization, and the organization and its management, they have assumed and they have explored it that these people can be very valuable to the company if they are sent abroad in the same company's branch. So these are the expatriates. When we talk of expatriate employees, what do we mean by expatriate employees? They are basically the people who are sent to work abroad on a long-term job assignment, such as employees who need to populate a new office or the senior managers who need to manage or set up a new branch. Now, moving on to how these expatriates are recruited. Organizations can choose to do this internally or externally, both. So for management positions, many organizations look internally. So internal recruitment is something like when in the organization itself, internally, the positions are posted, okay, through some portal. The positions that are open for openings abroad in the same company are posted or emailed to the employees, already existing employees who are already working in the organization. If they are interested, they will just reply to that mail and their application is taken care of. Now the process may be open to all employees or close to a selected number of candidates. It can be close to a selected number of candidates means that it can be that in some particular department the vacancies are made open for only a particular department, some particular division of any organization. Then the process involved can be formal and informal depending upon the gravity, depending upon the paucity of time, right? So some organizations also outsource part of this project to provide more objectivity, to be more objective. Now the question comes, when are the expatriates selected? Means when does an organization feel the need to select the expats? So there are many different points for it. Let us jump onto them one by one. So first is to broaden international perspectives, and any organization go for selecting expats. Then for new ventures. Like if there are some new business ventures and the organization, they are for some financial gain, they are going to expand their business abroad out of their parent country. So for that purpose they want to select the expats. And to train the locals is like if any technology is not available in the parent country and the organization wants that they should call the people from abroad who are working in the same organization's branches outside to train the local people about some new technology, some new updations, some new innovations in the organization. So for that purpose they will be calling the expats. Then protect company interest. For protecting company interest also the expats are selected. For developmental assignments, if there are any MDPs or EDPs, executive development programs or management development programs or workshops that are organized, so for that purpose also the expats are selected. Then technology or skills transfer, as I said earlier, when the skills or technology that is not evident, not available in the parent country but is available outside, and the person who is skilled to train the people into that particular technology. So these people are, or we can call them as expats, these expats are invited from the foreign countries for transferring their skills. Now sales, for the purpose of sales also the expatriates are selected. Now let us move on to the cycle, how the assignment of an expatriate moves. So it is a life cycle of the expatriate assignment. First is the need for an expatriate is determined. Then after that it goes to the selection process. That particular person goes for selection. Then he is given a pre-assignment training, right? So if he fails into that, he will be sent back. Okay, he will be sent back to the country again, or what is called as repatriation. Okay, and will be reassigned the work abroad, okay, or in his own country. But if again we come back to this step of selection process, this person after the pre-assignment training, if he gets selected, okay, he doesn't fail, so he will depart from the country, from his parent country, and then when he reaches the foreign country, so there he will be given an orientation and training, okay, and orientation will give him an idea of how the procedures and policies go into that country, what should be the code of conduct and all that stuff, okay, and then he will go on to adjusting himself to the foreign country, the culture of the foreign country. This is how the assignment life cycle goes. Now this is the point when we need to know about what are the problems that are actually faced by the expats, and in fact it is a reality that expats who leave their own parent country, their own native country, and go to new country, they face a lot of problems. So let us move on to knowing what are those. First is cultural shock and differences. Obviously the culture of countries are different, so they are moved by these problems, the differences of culture. They have to adjust themselves, and sometimes they are not able to. Loneliness, they feel isolated since they are away from their country people, and if in case any expat is introvert, then it becomes a real problem for that person. Now there can be some language issues. Suppose I go to Japan And Japan is like I know Hindi, English and some other regional language, but I don't know Japanese. So it will be a problem for me to know what the employees are talking if they are talking in their own Japanese language. So there are language issues. The cost of living might be high. Then healthcare issues are also there, since the regions or the different countries have different kind of climates, okay, and so many things are dependent on them. Then there can be relationship problems. This is how relationship problem means when any expat has left his country, his relatives, his family in his parent country, and just came alone for some project. So obviously it is going to be a problem for his family. Then a lot of paperwork that they have to do. They have to go for visa and all the official documentation kind of thing. So these are really a big problem for them. So there was an international survey of expats. So in this survey, so many expats were interviewed. So this slide is showing that what were their responses. So somewhere one expat has told that I miss my personal support network, family and friends. Then one person has responded that I have had some trouble with culture shock. Then another one has told that the language barrier is a problem for me now. And one more expat has probably told that my partner, my family doesn't seem happy with the decision to move here, means they are not happy. And obviously all these things, they affect any person psychologically, mentally, and obviously when we are in stress, it is really it comes upon our work performance and it is badly affected. So now there are these are the reasons for expatriate failure in US firms. In US firms, the expatriates have got failed in their assignments. Now let us see what were the reasons. First was inability of spouse to adjust. Their partners, their wives were not able to adjust. Okay, and in case of females, their husbands were not able to adjust. Then second, managers' inability to adjust. Manager under which they were working in US, so the managers could not adjust with themselves, with these expats. And there could be other family reasons. Their parents got sick or something like that, and because of this they got disturbed. Then managers' personal or emotional maturity. If their manager was not emotionally mature, so because of this he could not understand their behavior, their reactions to some particular situation, and this happened in the failure of the assignment. And lastly the inability to cope with the responsibility. So these were the problems. Now let us come to the solutions. How can we resolve? So first is we should provide realistic previews to the expats about the assignments abroad. Okay, there should be a clarity in this. Have a careful screening process. When their screening is done for while recruitment process, it should be carefully done. Then their orientation should be improved. They should be oriented in a way that they get familiar with the country's rules, regulations, procedures, the living style of people and all that stuff. And the company should obviously provide good benefits to the expats, and company should test employees fairly. It should test them fairly on their skills. And finally, the assignment length should be shortened. So I believe that if these solutions are taken care of, it will be helpful for the expats to stay longer in their assignments, stay longer outside and be happy. So that's it for today. I hope you liked it. Thank you. Have a nice day.